Hi, my name's Steve Smith, editor of Car Magazine, and this is the story of the 12 months I spent with the Jeep Cherokee. Or to give it its rather long name, this is the Jeep Cherokee 3.2 V6 4x4 Limited. It was a car I was really looking forward to actually. I'm a fan of its looks. Not everyone is. It's quite divisive, but I really liked what Jeep have done, especially with the nose. I like that three-tiered front. It's quite futuristic and it really sets it apart from all the other SUVs on the road. I was looking for a long-term test car that suited my lifestyle, and this Cherokee was pretty much perfect. I have a family, which means school runs, weekends away, kids in the car. I'm also, as you can see, quite an enthusiastic but not particularly competitive mountain biker, so my mates and I did quite a few races around the country, and this car was really great at swallowing all the kit that a family and a mountain bike enthusiast and his mates would need. Now, a real step up over the previous generation Cherokee is this new one's interior. I was seriously impressed with what I experienced. A real premium quality to the inside of this car, very little hard plastics, everything's nice and soft to the touch, full leather inside. I enjoyed the driving position, which is really comfortable, fairly upright, but for long journeys, and we did quite a few road trips, it was genuinely a very comfortable car to be in. One of my favorite things about this car was the infotainment system. It's Jeep's proprietary Uconnect system, very intuitive to use. Touchscreen where you can access functionality from all your music stuff to climate control, navigation, telephone, bright 8.4-inch screen. I love the graphics. Secondary screen over here, a 7-inch one between the two rotary dials. This really is one of the best I've come across. It was off-road though that this Cherokee really came into its own. And you'd expect that, I guess, from Jeep, having off-road ability deep within its DNA. The Cherokee comes with a select terrain system, and there's the rotary dial which switches between 4 modes. There's an auto mode, there's snow, sport mode, and also sand and mud mode. The car's brain uses the ESC system, it uses torque management, and also the car's braking system to apportion power to the wheels that need it. And on gravel, the car felt very composed, very pliant, refined ride, and it also surprised us clambering up some pretty hectic trails at the Heldenberg 4x4 course. On road, Cherokee is a pretty easy drive. It's nice and soft, not surprising being an American SUV. The engine has enough power, 3.2 litre V6, puts out 200 kilowatts, 350 newton meters of torque, which kind of takes care of most of your needs as a driver. The problem with it though is it's beginning to show its vintage, whereas just about everybody else is going for a smaller capacity turbo petrol. This is still a naturally aspirated engine, and that means it's quite thirsty. I've battled to keep it below 13 liters per 100 kilometer. That said, I don't have the most fuel efficient daily commute. There has been one problem though, and quite a major issue actually, and that's been this 9-speed ZF sourced auto gearbox. Also used in some of the Jaguar Land Rover products. In the Jeep though, it's been a very unhappy marriage, and especially in this one. For 6 months the car was fine, but then I began to notice fairly subtle changes in the shifting. So subtle that I was beginning to think, well, is it me or what's going on? But shifting seemed to be more abrupt, and then became much more noticeable when I'd say coming into a corner, I'd come off the gas, and instead of expecting the car to maybe shift down a gear, it would shift up a gear and sort of surge. The first time it kind of caught me out, so that was a bit worrying. Contacted Jeep, some of our own research, and clearly there was a global problem with that. It was a software issue, they said. We tried a software upgrade, that didn't work. Somehow the chip got fried within the transmission, and the entire transmission had to be replaced. No doubt at considerable cost. Got the car back after a few weeks. The changes were much smoother, but it did feel like the car was in permanent sport mode, and there are 4 driving modes. The throttle response was sharper, but my fuel economy did unfortunately suffer. In the year I spent with the Jeep Cherokee, it was a very comfortable, easy to drive SUV, great 4x4 ability, A fantastic interior, comfortable, able to take my family, take my mates, weekends away, mountain biking. Unfortunately, this Cherokee is let down by its drivetrain. The 3.2 V6 is thirsty, and there was a serious problem with that 9-speed auto transmission, which moved it from being simply inefficient to fundamentally flawed, which is a great pity because I genuinely like this car. I like the quirky looks, and I thought the interior was one of the best around.